Hi everyone. We're going to do a brief practice today and a reminder about your breath. Remember to stay present with the breath. It'll help quiet the mind, and it will also inform you whether you're stressing too much or if you lose contact with the out breath. So I'm going to begin by reading a sutra from the Radiant Sutras, and it's number 109, native of eternity, at home in infinity, breathing immortality. Let these words sing in every cell, oceans of splendor, luminous energies of creation, pulsating everywhere, always. Hear these astounding words continually, every phrase an invocation. Let the sounds ripple through you, resonate with the all-pervading hum of truth, and know every fleeting moment is supported by forever. All right, so we're going to begin the class by coming down onto our backs. And as you come down, you want to make sure that your pelvis is neutral. You can take your hands on your hips and feel that tailbone soften into the floor. If it's comfortable for you to straighten your legs, let them fall open. We're coming into the corpse pose, Shavasana. Let the palms face up and let your back soften and release into the floor. Let's begin by just coming back to the breath and letting it flow naturally. You don't have to impose a new rhythm on your breath. We're just finding our natural breath. So let it flow. Feel the rising and the falling of the chest. And we'll begin by just scanning ourselves to notice what we're carrying with us today and how we might come into a state of well-being, just aware of what's happening in this moment. So let's begin by just scanning your body and noticing if there's tension or discomfort in the body. Remember, our body is communicating to us through sensation. So just notice what the body needs right now to be more comfortable and at ease, for consciousness to be at home in the body. And now we're going to move to the next vibrational field, our energy body, and just reflect on how your energy is today. If you're tired or if you feel agitated, we're going to see if we can calm the nervous system through our breathing and through our focused attention on our work today. The next body is the body of the heart, and we're here to open our hearts. This is the home of our emotions. And so just notice what emotions are present right now. And remember that we're all here to dilate this field, so love and compassion can be with us. We come to the field of the mind now, the home of our thoughts and images and beliefs. And we're here to quiet this mind. And so let your attention be drawn to the breath, because the breath will help us to drown out those thoughts and pass by without having to be entangled in them. So we're quieting the mind. Our last field is our interactive field, the fastest vibrating field. This is our home base. This is the fabric of life, and all living things are present here. And we want to just remember that we are not separate or alone, and that we're here to mend this web of life. Now we're going to come to our breath again. Bring our hands to our belly and let them rest. And we'll breathe into this lower breathing space and let the belly expand. We'll take another sip of breath into the rib cage area. Feel the chest lift and the rib cage swing forward and expand. And finally, we come to the top of our lungs. The collarbones lift and the shoulder blades widen in the back. And we're going to breathe out just like emptying a glass of water, emptying the top, the middle breathing space, and the lower breathing space. So you can do a couple more of those 3-part breaths, giving your full attention to your breathing here. And just notice that beautiful rising of the chest on the in-breath and the falling back and receding of the chest on the out-breath. Now, next time you breathe out, let yourself kind of slip into the stillness of the pause that's naturally there at the end of the out-breath. Just quiet for a moment, and when you're ready to breathe in, let's draw our thighs in toward our chest, resting our hands, cupping our knees, and we'll just circle for a minute with our knees and massage our tailbone area, just getting energy moving. Beautiful. And now we'll take a breath in, and on the out breath, we'll straighten our arms so our knees line up with our hips. Let our feet drop to the floor, and let your hands slide up your thighs. Take the heels of the hands into the hip creases, push against the thighs as you lengthen out through the crown of the head, and make a little more space for the vertebra in the spine. Let your spine soften. On the in-breath, we're going to stretch out and lengthen through the fingertips and toes. And on the out breath, we're going to bend our thighs, draw them toward our chest, and lift our forehead toward the knees. Again, we'll do this a couple more times. In breath, lengthening. You can suspend your legs above the floor and arms if you like. And thighs to chest, forehead to knees. Now, cradle your head, lift the base of the skull, and gently lower the head down. Let's bring our hands to our thighs, and once more straighten our arms. And let the feet drop. Feel the back released into the floor. Lengthen as you push against your thighs, and bring your arms alongside your body. And we're going to transition into the bridge pose. So as you take a breath in, let's lift our spine. Let our arms float over our head, shoulder blades on the floor, hips width, the hip width distance apart here. And on the out breath, we're going to begin to lengthen the spine in space, release the top of the spine, one vertebra at a time. And on the out breath, the hands are floating back down, the spine is releasing back to the floor, and the palms facing down come to rest. Let's try it one more time. Let's take a breath in. Let's let our arms float over our head, and tucking our chin slightly and lengthening the spine. On the out breath, one vertebra releasing down from the top at a time as the arms float back down alongside the body. And now let's draw our thighs back into our chest. Let's straighten our legs up into the air for a moment, and we'll just get a little hamstring stretch as we gently rock our thighs in toward our chest here. You hold on to your lower legs. Let's take a breath in, and on the out breath, just draw those thighs in toward the chest for a moment. Extend out through the heels, which will animate the stretch. You want to always feel the aliveness of your work. You can link your index middle finger around your big toes if you like. We'll take a breath in and allow our legs to fall open into a V position. And we'll just circle for a minute with our feet and lubricate our ankle joints. Circle in the opposite direction and point and flex our toes for a moment. Now let's draw the legs back together as we breathe in. On the out breath, bend the knees, place the hands once more on the knees, straighten the arms, let the knees line up with the hips, feet on the floor, and let's come into bound angle pose now. So we'll bring our feet sole to sole, drop our knees open here, and we're going to take another breath in, and on the out breath, bring those arms over the head, let the shoulder blades release, and let's bring our attention to our low back. We'll take a breath in, and on the out breath, let's see if we can soften and melt that low back into the floor as we let go here. So another breath in, kind of exaggerate the lifting of the belly as if your belly were connected to a string on the ceiling. And on the out breath, the spine softens and releases into the floor. Now let's just let our arms, like a snow angel, float back down alongside the thighs, and we'll lift the thighs up. Place the feet back on the floor, and if you want to check in and just again, take the heels of the hands into the hip creases, lengthen out through the crown, you can. And we're going to place our left foot in the middle of the mat and our right foot on our left knee, and with a very firm and steady hand, that right hand is going to open up that right hip here, and we'll lift our left foot off the floor, tucking the left hand behind the left knee, And those of you who would like can draw that left thigh into the chest and lift your head if you like toward your foot. Slow and easy. We'll come back down, let our left foot release back down, place our right foot back on the floor, and let's do the same thing on the other side. Let's drop that left knee and take your left hand and gently rock the inner thigh, opening the hip a little bit, lifting the right foot, right hand tucked behind right knee. And again, you can thread the hand through if you'd rather, then work on keeping the hip open and lifting the head. Slow and easy now, returning back down, right foot and left foot. Now we're going to do a very simple spinal twist. We'll let our arms come out to the side in a T position. We'll shift our hips over to the left and let our right knee drop to the floor. We're going to come onto our right shoulder, our left hand resting on our right hand, left knee resting on right knee, and left foot on right foot. We'll take a breath in, and as we breathe out, the hand slides up that right arm across the chest. We're going to bring our left shoulder and left arm onto the floor on the left, and we're working on bringing the left shoulder blade into the floor. So let's lift on the in-breath that left shoulder, and let's slide out through the left fingertips on the out-breath so that left shoulder blade nestles into the floor. There's one more adaptation you can do if you like, which is to straighten your bottom foot and cross your top leg in front, and even take that top leg and that right hand on that leg and draw it up. So each breath is an opportunity to move into space a little deeper. We're bringing in enlivened space on our in-breath, and we're softening on the out-breath into that space. Now we'll bend our bottom knee and our top knee, and we're going to turn now and place your left foot and right foot on the floor. Slide the hips and buttocks over to the right. Drop onto your left shoulder and bring the right knee on top of the left, right foot on top of the left, and let's take a breath in and slide our right arm up our right hand up our left arm across the chest. And again, this beautiful unfurling, releasing that shoulder blade into the floor, making sure your neck is comfortable here. As you breathe in, you can lift your right shoulder. As you breathe out, you can extend out through the right fingertips. And again, that adaptation, if you like, to straighten the bottom leg and cross the top leg directly out in front and take that left hand on that right leg here. So this is our spinal twist. We're going to now bend that top knee, bring the right foot back and the left foot back, slide our spine into the center of our mat, and for a moment, just rest your hands, let your back body relax, let your face relax, feel the feet grounding you and widening and opening into the floor and the earth here. And when you feel ready, we're going to roll up on our spine or roll over and use your hand to come up. And we're going to come up into a seated position. In our seated position, we want our sits bones to spread out. And we want our knees and hips aligned here. And this is called the meditation seat. And as you breathe in, we're going to lengthen through the spine and straighten the spine right up, all the way from the tailbone up through the crown of the head. And you can kind of subtly lift the crown forward and then up as if the crown were floating here. And we're going to begin by taking our hands and walking our fingertips out, bringing our right ear toward our right shoulder. And as we breathe out, the chin comes to the chest and the left ear comes to the left shoulder. And we'll just move from side to side, very soft and relaxed. We're really unwinding here. And then when it's time, you can let the head circle, and remember to keep all the pathways of perception relaxed. That means the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ears. Just unwinding, and then we'll circle in the opposite direction for a minute. Beautiful. Now, chin drops toward the chest, shoulders lift up toward the ears, and we'll lift our chin toward the ceiling for a minute. Draw the shoulder blades together, open the chest, soften the spine now, and tuck the chin. One more time, shoulders up, chin up, shoulder blades together, back and down, softening and relaxing here. take our hands and interlace them, bring them to the back of our head, look down at the floor now, and let the head resist the weight of your hands and arm. This is kind of an isometric movement here, and you'll get a deep stretch in the back of the neck. We're gently turning the head from side to side, and when you're ready, you straighten the spine, draw the elbows back, take a breath in, and on the out breath, we'll bring our elbows together, round our spine, forehead toward the floor. Let's do that one more time. Take a breath in, straighten, open chest, breathe out, elbows together, and bring the forehead toward the floor. And now we'll walk our fingertips out, get what is called a puppy pose here. Lengthen here and let the head drape between the arms. We'll take a breath in, and when we breathe out, the right hand walks over, the left hand follows, a nice lateral stretch along the spine. Again, a breath in, out breath here, back to the center. And one more time, take a breath in, out breath to the left. Right hand following, feel both sides of the spine opening here. Back into the center, and hands slide in, and for a moment, we'll just circle with our shoulders, and just allow the arms to be free like you're a big bird, just floating through the air. Let's circle in the opposite direction. Wonderful. Now, let's take our shoulders up toward our ears, make fists of our hands, tighten the muscles of our face and body, squeeze, and sigh and let go. Great, one more time. Shoulders up, every muscle in the body engaged, and now let go. And let's walk our left hand over, and let's open the side of our spine here, and remember that your head and neck can move around and be comfortable. That line of energy extends from the hip out through the fingertips, and we'll move to the other side now. Just stretching. And this time, as you breathe in, both hands come up, hands interlace and turn up, and just swaying from side to side. Again, we're working with our spine, bending forward and back, opening the sides of the spine, twisting. Bring the arms down now. Turn the palms to face toward you. Embrace yourself, and for a minute, just allow your eyes to close and allow appreciation for your being to be present. Just a sweetness to be present here for a minute. Beautiful. Let's release those arms, and let's do it on the other side. And just to remember who we are and that we're here to do our best here. Beautiful. Now, release those arms, shake them out, straighten those legs out for a minute. Let's lift the flesh of our buttocks back again, come onto our sits bones. Remember now, with forward bends, the knees can be soft. We'll take a breath in, lift our arms over our head, and on the out breath, we'll hinge forward from the hips. Let the hands come down. You can use those fingertips as traction, and on the in-breath, you can round the spine. On the out-breath, lift the sternum. Draw the crown of the head toward the wall in front of you in that beautiful forward fold. These are called poses of surrender, and they help to relax. Now, let the hands slide back up. Bring them behind you, facing our buttocks, and we'll do a little chest opening here. So take a breath in, lift the sternum, open the chest. You can look up. Beautiful. And some of you may want to lift your buttocks and pelvis off the floor, which you can. And on the out breath, soften the spine, round the shoulders, and come back up. Beautiful. Now, we're going to bend our knees, and for just a moment, do a little pelvic rocking. So let's breathe in, draw the tailbone forward first, lengthen the middle spine and upper spine, and on the out breath, let the tailbone fall back first. This is undulating the spine, straightening and reestablishing curves. Lift and look up, and out breath. Remember, tailbone back, lengthening, lean into the back and stretch the whole back here. Coming up now, we're going to turn to the side for a minute, and I'm just going to do a boat position. So our boat, we can do elementary boat with the knees bent. Remember, you can use your hands behind you for balance if you like, or you can bring them along the side. The sternum is lifted, shoulders relaxed. Beautiful balance here. Wonderful. Let's let the feet come down, and let's turn back to the front. Now, we're going to come down onto our backs for a little, first, let's sit for just a minute, and we're going to conclude our asana practice. You can let your hands, palms face up. This is called the Pushaputta Mudra, and mudras are gestures made by the hand, face, and body that seal energy in. and also awaken a particular frequency of energy. So lengthen that spine. Again, let that crown float. Feel the grounding through the sits bones. Allow your eyes to soften and close. And this is the open flower position, and it is a position of reception. So we're opening ourselves to receive the energetic support available to us, to let the love and the light enter into us. Just a couple breaths here. Beautiful. Now, we're going to take our left hand. You can join thumb and index finger with your right hand. Take your index, middle finger, and bring them to the area between your eyebrows. Take your right thumb, close off the right nostril. We're going to practice alternate nostril breathing. We're going to breathe out through our left nostril to a count of 5, and breathe into 5. Close the left nostril with your ring finger, little finger, release your thumb, and breathe out to 5 and into 5. Closing the right and releasing the left. Out to 5, into 5. Equal in-breath to out-breath. So you can do this for as long as is comfortable for you, and then we're going to breathe out on that right side and just allow our right hand to come down. And now we're going to come onto our backs for a little bit of relaxation. So again, this is called Yoga Nidra. You can take your hands on your hips, lengthen the spine, allow the legs to fall open. We're surrendering the weight of our body to the floor. The palms face up, the shoulders are relaxed, shoulder blades soften into the floor, into the ground. We're letting go now. And as you come into Shavasana, your corpse pose, you take a breath in and gather the energy. Draw it from all around the space that's alive around you, from beneath you. Gather it in the heart for a minute on the in-breath. And as you breathe out, let that energy flow out in all directions like the rays of the sun. Now we're going to, just for a moment, take a breath in, lift our legs off the floor, extend our arms out, engage the muscles of your body, including your face, make fists of your hands, and tighten the muscles of the legs. And now, let go. Just let go. Let the low back soften, let the face relax. We've come home to the earth and to our natural breath. And as we rest here, our awareness has an opportunity to return to its source. No effort, just a simple breath here. Resting, allowing the pranic currents to flow, feeling the aliveness of the body, the wakefulness of the mind, the openness of the heart. And so now we're going to conclude our practice. Bend my knees, roll up on the spine, and come back into our seated position, our meditation seat. And for a moment, we can sit quietly, allow your attention to remain focused inward. And we're going to end with a bhavana, which is a visualization practice. And what we do is gather the energy in the room, the collective energy right now that's present. And as we breathe in, we draw that energy into the heart. And what is present here today is the energy of love and of light, that vibration. We breathe it in and let it radiate out through us, returning to the breath again. Thank you. if you have an opportunity to put your legs up the wall, please feel free to do that at home or wherever you are, because it really is restorative.